Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. No man is above the law, and no man is below it. It is better to have it and need it, than to need it and not have it. With self-discipline, most anything is possible. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. If I was not going to earn money, I must even things up by not spending it. A vote is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. A man who has never gone to school may steal a freight car, but if he has a university education, he may steal the whole railroad. Never throughout history has a man who lived a life of ease left a name worth remembering. 9/10 of wisdom consists in being wise in time. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you play, play hard. When you work, don't play at all. Let us rather run the risk of wearing out than rusting out. The reason fat men are good-natured is they can neither fight nor run. The joy in life is his who has the heart to demand it. No man is justified in doing evil on the ground of expediency. Be practical as well as generous in your ideals. Keep your eyes on the stars, but remember to keep your feet on the ground. Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Bodily vigor is good, and vigor of intellect is even better. But far above both is character. The farther one gets into the wilderness, the greater is the attraction of its lonely freedom. Power invariably means both responsibility and danger. Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right. No ability, no strength and force, no power of intellect or power of wealth shall avail us if we have not the root of right living in us. It is no use to preach to children if you do not act decently yourself. All the resources we need are in the mind. There is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head. In life, as in a football game, The principle to follow is, hit the line hard. Aggressive fighting for the right is the noblest sport the world affords. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in. Americanism is a question of principle, of idealism, of character. It is not a matter of birthplace, or creed, or line of descent. Each one must do his part if we wish to show that the nation is worthy of its good fortune. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president. It may be true that he travels farthest who travels alone, but the goal thus reached is not worth reaching. A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. Justice consists not in being neutral between right and wrong, but finding out the right and upholding it, wherever found, against the wrong. There can be no life without change, and to be afraid of what is different or unfamiliar is to be afraid of life. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. It is only through labor and painful effort, by grim energy and resolute courage, that we move on to better things. People ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads, and the boss drives. Big jobs usually go to the men who prove their ability to outgrow small ones. Old age is like everything else. To make a success of it, you've got to start young. A stream cannot rise larger than its source. At some time in our lives, a devil dwells within us, causes heartbreaks, confusion and troubles, then dies. Order without liberty, and liberty without order are equally destructive. Democracy to be successful must mean self-knowledge, and above all, self-mastery. I don't for a moment believe that we can turn back the wheels of progress. Don't hit a man at all if you can avoid it, but if you have to hit him, knock him out. The insistence upon individual responsibility was, and is, and always will be, a prime necessity. Love of peace is common among weak, short-sighted, timid, and lazy persons. And on the other hand, courage is found among many men of evil temper and bad character. Neither quality shall by itself avail. With soul of flame and temper of steel, we must act as our coolest judgment bids us. Any man who has met with success, if he will be frank with himself, must admit that there has been a big element of fortune in the success. Most of the men had simple souls. They could relate facts, but they said very little about what they dimly felt. Freedom from effort in the present merely means that there has been effort stored up in the past. No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his well-being, to risk his body, to risk his life in a great cause.